Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to the Full Court Press, the show where we talk ball and discuss the happenings in college basketball. I'm your host, Michael, and today we are discussing the upcoming NCAA tournament and previewing some March Madness stories. With me today are two highly up-to-date guests ready to share their thoughts on the season thus far and what we can expect going forward. First, we have Jackson.
Thank you.
Jackson, what's your hot take on the season so far? Any teams or players stand out to you?
I'm gonna go with that boy Cooper Flag. I don't really watch NCAA that much, but I've been hearing he's been making noise like that.
Supposed to be the #1 pick apparently coming up in the draft. So, I mean, he is everything they say and more. He's nice. Next, we have Kevin.
Hello. Honored to be here.
Thank you, Kevin. What team have you been most impressed with so far this season?
St. John's University. Seventh in the country right now.
Big time. Ricky P's getting them back up to the top 10.
I'd be seeing a lot of videos of Rick Pitino on Twitter just firing up. Oh, man, it makes me want to run through a wall.
I miss him at Louisville. He's the best coach of all time, in my opinion.
Really?
I think so. More than Coach K.
They won a championship, right?
With Louisville, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2013. Greatest memory of all time.
There you go.
Thanks for being with us today, you guys. We're still a couple of weeks away from the bracket reveal and finding out who made the cut and who didn't, but there's plenty to break down, so let's get into it.
Awesome.
First, we're going to talk about the top dogs. So Auburn and Duke this year each have 2 losses. They're ranked 1 and 2. And Auburn kind of stands out above everyone else. I know you brought up Cooper Flag with Duke. What do you guys have thoughts on the 2 big teams that are kind of leading the charge this year?
I think Duke's gonna take it all.
Think so?
Yeah, because
They're really young, you know?
Cooper Flag, he really liked that, and then they franchise too, just as a whole. They got, I'm taking Duke, bro.
So a true freshman leading Duke all the way to the end, you think that could happen?
Especially for that story title too. Yeah.
It could happen.
That's rare. I could definitely see it happening with him in the front. He's a very exciting player to watch.
He is.
He's got bounce.
He does.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of Kentucky back in the day because they used to get all the #1 and 2 picks, and they would just hopefully get to the Final Four at that
Like
point.
Ant Davis and like all that.
100%.
Hopefully he doesn't turn out to like Zion, get injured and then become like a bust.
Yeah, he
All those
does a
two
lot
guys
more,
did.
though. It feels like he can shoot and dribble, he can distribute. I think he's leading his team in every major statistical category, and he's the only true freshman to do
That's-
that.
that's
I
He's
think
gonna
ever.
win this.
That's mini
award,
Jokic
right?
right there.
Seriously.
Is he
He's
gonna win the
6'10".
best player?
I think so. It's between him and the Auburn kid. This Auburn kid, Joni Moore, who plays for Auburn, they're #1, does the same kind of thing, but he's more of a point guard
Okay.
aspect. So it's kind of down between them two. So I don't know. Those are the top 2 teams. So I know we talked before about Florida kind of doing this resurgence. Florida's usually the football school, basketball every now and then.
Yeah.
We went back to back in the day.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about Florida and kind of getting Florida basketball back up to?
I think it's
back up
really
to speed?
cool seeing a Florida team be really good, especially like UF, because they have just history of having good sports teams. You mentioned football with Tim Tebow and all them, like the Swamp, that whole team was insane. And
It's historical.
It's very exactly. It's very cool seeing the basketball school it be coming back into a basketball school, and it's also cool you see a lot of the teams that are in the top 25 now. You look 5-10 years ago, a lot of them weren't really in this conversation year to year. So it's just cool seeing a nice little switch up, and I think that has to do with a lot of the NIL.
That's what I'm thinking. You can actually pay players now, and the
Exactly.
kids that want to transfer from those mid-majors, they can end up on a Duke or a Kentucky or a Florida, and then suddenly Florida's #3 in the nation.
Or even the other way around. You see, St. John's is a 7 overall. I mean, that's also the coach has a lot to do with it. But they have a lot of money.
Though. Yeah, 100%. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next. Looks like it would be tournament expansion. So they're talking about changing the tournament from 64 teams, which we've all kind of grown up with. We know the historical March Madness. They're talking about maybe going to 76 teams, maybe even 90
That's too
plus.
much.
Too much, you
Yeah,
think?
that's too much. That's way too much. NBA only has 30 teams. 90?
Yeah.
That's triple.
Be a lot of playing games, I guess, leading up to the 64, but it would still count. So you're playing for March Madness the end of February, maybe beginning of March. I don't know.
I'll be honest with
pro
you,
or anti-expansion?
I like that a lot, honestly.
Expanding it.
Because the beauty about March Madness is the upsets, and that gives a bigger percentage of upsets actually happening. Because you could get I don't know what the seeding would look like, but you could get a team that would maybe not even make the NIT tournament, and then somehow they actually make it to the actual tournament, maybe beat a higher seed.
But at what point is it dragging it though?
I mean, no, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
it
the
obviously all
undeserving
sounds about the
teams.
money.
Well, with the money too, but do you think undeserving teams kind of take away spots from teams that kind of scrape their way in or the last 4 in?
I mean, yeah, but like if they're playing each other, then and they're all in like the same like realm of like playoffs. Like even those ones that the last four in that scrape their way in, they still got to win. They got to beat those undeserving teams because then if they lose, then they're undeserving of making that spot.
That's fair. Would you say it's a money grab at this point?
It's always a money grab.
Yeah.
Even with the NBA when they added
with the in-season tournament, yeah.
Or no, what's it, the
play-in?
Yeah, the play-in. That's what it was. Like that's a money grab.
Just more viewers for more games, sell more advertisement and whatnot. Yeah. Kind of push back on the Cinderella aspect, doesn't it? If it does expand, if we get these 76, 90 plus teams, Cinderellas are so cool because they're that 11 seed, that 12 seed, they upset, and they're in the Sweet 16 all of a sudden. They make it to the next weekend. Yeah. If you change it to that 90 plus, even 76, I feel like it would kind of take away from the Cinderella aspect. Just because you have so many teams now.
It's like over.
So more chances for upset, but it kind of takes away the
I guess you're right.
Of the one.
I guess you're right with that. Yeah.
But, each to their own. Let's talk about our favorite tournament memories. So like I said, we've grown up with the 64 kind of traditional teams going up. Do you guys have any favorite memories of growing up watching an upset or maybe your team win it all? Anything like that?
I don't know what team it was, but I remember there was a moment where someone like heaved the shot like pretty much from half court for the win.
I want to say it's Texas A&M in Northern Iowa.
It was Northern
back in
Iowa,
the day.
right?
Yeah. Purple team, the kids running down the court, jumping in the stands and whatnot.
That was tough right there.
It's a lot of classics. Kevin, you have any favorite memories?
Nothing specific, but I always liked back when I was in like middle school and high school, like the first 2 days, there was games on starting every 20 minutes from like 1 p.m.
That Thursday and Friday.
Oh my gosh.
I
have my computer, like iPad open, just watching games. Some of my teachers would just stop like our class and just put them on the projector and stuff.
Kind of know what's going on at that point. It's
the
start
it
of
was
the
just
tournament.
that. No
the
school.
best day in sports,
it was awesome. It was like one of the days in school I'd look forward to the most. It was so much fun.
Sounds like a good time.
Exactly.
Wish my teachers would do that.
Really? Yeah.
So let's get a little prediction here. So I know you guys are maybe not well versed in all the teams that are out there. We know Auburn and Duke are like the top dogs and whatnot. Do you guys have any predictions on what you think might happen or what you'd like to see? I know we all love some Cinderella stories. Do you think any team out there?
That's the exact prediction, right? Duke's down 78-80. Ball to Cooper Flag with the game on the line from deep. 0.5 seconds left, he bangs it.
For the championship?
For the championship, 81-80 right there.
Sounds reminiscent of Villanova back in the day. All-time buzzer.
Remember that in like a month. Remember that.
Write that down. Maybe put a bet in on that. Exactly how.
Yeah, maybe put a bet in.
Do you have any predictions?
I think Duke's gonna lose in the Sweet 16.
I really hope so. I don't think they're that good. I think Cooper Flag is nice, but they're so young and they have, I don't know. Duke with the new coach, it's not Coach K running the show. It's John Shire.
I remember like just praying on Duke's downfall every year.
You sound like a D1 hater.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Pun intended. Joe. D1.
Yes.
Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, all these group, the Blue Bloods. The earlier they go down, we get to see somebody like Drake of all teams make it. Shout out Drake. I mean, it would be awesome. Kind of get the name back into a positive spin as opposed to what some people have been saying about
Also,
him.
it would put more emphasis on how good Coach K was as a coach.
100%. I think he was a little overrated back in the day.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, you saw
What
his
made you
teams
say that?
do. They would lose in the round of 64.
you're right.
They lost to, who's your boy that used to play for the 15 seed back in the day? CJ McCollum. Upset Duke back in the day.
Lehigh.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I remember that.
I'd love to watch that. I do think Louisville's going to take it all the way, though.
Sells, though. He sold Dame in Portland so bad.
Yeah, but college. It's
I
college.
know, I'm
It's
just
college.
saying.
He's kind of washed up now. Yeah. Just saying. Well, that's a wrap for today's edition of Full Court Press. There are still games to be played, tournaments to be won, and hearts to be broken. Thank you to our audience in studio and at home. We hope you enjoy the thrills of March Madness as much as we do in the coming weeks. Thank you, and go Cards.